Okay, so here is, the paraphrased form, what a good paraphrase would look like, right? As you can see here, it is done by one of the candidates, right? Now, what you need to do is, I'll reopen this worksheet for you people, so that you can practice it right now, okay? Now, this is the worksheet, right? You have a writing task one that you should be spending about 20 minutes on this task, right? And here is the statement about this visual. Now, Atika, you have 3 minutes to think about, instead, I should say 2 minutes to think about this statement and paraphrase it. Okay, so paraphrase the statement.
Sir, the graph below show.
Yes, this one, exactly this one. Paraphrase this one statement.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me, what are the words that you will be using instead of graph? What can you use? What word or words can you use instead of the word graph? You don't remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have said, the line, the line graph, you can say,
Yes, sir.
or the graph chart. Okay, instead of below, what can you say?
Under.
Under, yes, but if you say the given, line graph, it will be much better, right? The given line graph. Okay, instead of, the word shows, what words or word or words can you, use?
Shows.
Yes, shows
Appear.
is, no, not appear.
Appear.
Yes, appear is the word, synonym, but it is not, related to this context. Okay, what other words can you think of?
Illustrate.
Yes, illustrates. Since it's in the present tense, so we should be using the present tense. Okay, the given line graph uh, illustrates. Okay, the number, instead of the number, what can you use?
Many.
Yes, many, but many is not relevant. Think about, any word which is relevant in this context and this sentence. You can also use the word amount, the amount of whales, right?
Yes.
Okay, cited.
Observe.
Yes, observed is the right one, but you can use the word seen, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Seen from Spring Bay Lighthouse, right? But you can also change the sequence. You can say from the lighthouse of Spring Bay, right? So through this, you are actually telling the examiner that you have the grammatical range and you know how to, use words, in different contexts and different ways. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So what we have created here is the given line graph illustrates the amount of whales seen from the lighthouse of Spring Bay. Through this statement,
Teacher,
you
what
have
is spring?
Spring Bay is actually the name, so you cannot change the name, okay? It's a proper noun, and proper nouns cannot be changed. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's do another one, and then we'll move to the next slide, okay? Again, we have, this chart, okay? And this is the statement. The flow chart below shows the system used in the production and distribution of natural gas. Now, tell me, think about it. The possible words that we can use. Okay, now tell me, what is the word or what are the words that we can use instead of the word flowchart? Jiatika.
Sir, the diagram below
Yes, the diagram
or the
below.
flow chart.
Yes, you can use the word diagram. You can also use the process map, right? So the process diagram or the process map below the given process, diagram, okay, shows. So previously we have used the word illustrates. Choose another
Yes,
word.
sir.
You choose another word here. Can you use the word presents? The
Sir,
given
outline.
outlines, yes, outlines is okay, but if we say present, so it will be much better, right? Outline is also
Yes,
a
sir.
proper word. Okay. So the given, process map outlines or let's say presents. Now, instead of the system, what can we use? What words can we use? Can we use the
Process.
process? Yes, the process. Or can we use the word mechanism?
Yes, sir.
The word mechanism or the process, both of them, they are correct, right? Instead of used, we can say utilized, right?
Yes, sir.
In the production, so we can also use the word manufacturing
Yes, sir. And supply.
and supplying of natural gas. Or instead of natural gas, you can say fossil fuel, right? Or natural
Yes, sir.
gas, both of them, they are correct. Supplying. So you have used a very good word, distribution and supplying, very good word, right? So The outcome is that the given process map presents the process, right, or the mechanism utilized in the manufacturing and supplying of natural gas, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you do it. Very good, excellent. I'll, there are four, other activities as well. I'll share this worksheet with you and you can, then do it yourself at home, okay? Now
Yes,
let's move
sir.
to the next slide. Okay. Analyzing and describing key features. This is another very important topic in your writing task one. And you should know how should you analyze and describe key features. So there are a few handouts that we should read and see what is there, okay? Okay. So the first thing is that whenever you are analyzing or describing features, you should know which places, right, people or things is the information about. And you will get this information from the very first statement, as we have done in the previous, activity, right? So the statement
Yes,
of
sir.
the diagram or the process or whatever visual kind of visual is given will tell you which place, people, things, is the information about. So you will get this information from that statement. Then how many different things are being compared? You can get this information from the visual, the very visual, where you have the x-axis and the y-axis or the overall diagram or
Yes,
whatever visual is there. So you can get this information from the diagram in itself, right? Then what units are used to show the amounts, numbers, or proportions? So, the diagram or the charts will also tell you about these things: amounts, numbers, or proportions or percentages, whatever word or words are used, so you can pick those information from there. Lastly, what period of time does the visual refer to? So if there is any reference to a time period, you can also get this information from the very visual. Is it clear? Is it clear or not?
sir. Explain the last line,
What
last
period,
point.
what period of time does the visual refer to? If you remember yesterday when we were discussing one of the, you can say, the examples, there we have found here in this one. Let me show you. This was about the activity. Okay. Here. Do you see the time period here in this one? Do you remember this one? 1921, 1970, and 2000, when we were discussing it
Yes, sir.
yesterday. So this is what, the last statement is talking about. What period of time does the visual refer to? So here we have three time periods: 1921, 1970, and 2000. And you can get this information from the visual in itself, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, as you can see here, we have a visual and it is atomic energy as a percentage of total energy production, right? So this is the statement, and we can see from the very statement that it is talking about atomic energy production in total, but in terms of percentage, right? So percentage is actually the, you can say, the unit used here. And the rest of the visual is talking about how much atomic energy is produced in total in these countries, different countries, right? Then we also have a reference to year 1980, 1990, and 2000. We have countries such as South Africa, China, UK, Japan, former Soviet Union, and then the United States of America. Now, if you are asked which places, peoples, or things is the information about, so what will be your answer? Look at this visual and now tell me which places, people, or things is the information about. G.
Sir, atomic energy.
Very good. Yes. The information is about the production of atomic energy. Very good. Excellent. Then we also have places here. So what are the places? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Africa, Ghana, UK, Japan.
Yes, 6 countries. So the thing is atomic energy, and the places are 6 countries, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. As you can see here, we have highlighted them, right? Your answers are correct. Now, how many different things are being compared, right? So we have the comparison of what? The comparison of countries, that how much energy, atomic energy they produced in terms of percentage, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different things are being compared. Is it clear?
Sir,
Uh-huh.
6 countries.
Yes. You know, the energy produced by these 6 countries, they are compared, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
For example, in the 1980s, South Africa was producing 0% of atomic energy. UK was producing 0.11%. USA was, producing the most at 0.90%, right? So this is what you call comparison, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, another question is what units are used to show the amounts, numbers, or proportions? So what is the unit? As we have already discussed, the unit percentage. Very good. Excellent. So percentage is right. That is the answer. Now, another question is what period of time does the visual refer to? So what period or periods of time? Tell me.
1980,
And then,
1990,
mhm.
and 2000.
Yes, so we have data from 3 different time periods, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Your answer is okay because it has been highlighted here. Now, here is a technique. When you look at the time period, so it must be in simple past tense. Why? Because it has already happened. It is in the past.
Yes,
1980s is in the past, 1990s is in the past, and 2000 is also in the past. So
yes.
whenever you are talking about it, so the tense that you will be using should be which one?
Past,
Simple past.
past, and simple past.
Yes, past simple or simple past, both of them are, or past indefinite. All the 3 names, they refer to the same thing. Now, the overview and key features. Now that you have learned about, this thing, the things, the time period, and the percentage, the unit, and what the information is about or the visual is about, we should also learn the overview and key features, that how should we retain them and how should we get them, right? So when talking about overview, we should know that overview is actually the main or overall trend or trends, right? When you look at a visual, when you look at a visual, you will see an overall trend or trends, which will tell you that how the process or the diagram is moving, right? So there must be an overall trend. How it is, we are going to discuss in the coming slide. But you should know that there should be an overview. Then we should also know how can we highlight the key features. Key features means other important details, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, taking the same visual, let's study it, okay? If we see the overall trend, so we can see that in all the countries there is an upsurge. Upsurge means increase in the production of atomic energy. If you take it from 1980s to 2000, as you can see here, all the countries, they have
Yes, sir.
made improvements, right? South Africa was 0 in the 1980s, but in 2000 it was 0.04.
0.04.
China was 0, and 2000 it was 0.05. UK was 0.11, but in the 2000 it is 0.29,
0.29.
right?
Yes.
Same is the case with all the countries. So in all countries, there is an upsurge in the production of atomic energy from the 1990s to the 2000. So this is what you call an overall trend. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Have you learned it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, if I am to write the overview of this, visual, how can we write? Overall, it can be seen that the general trend was upward. Upward means, because there is increase
Increasing
in
atomic.
exactly upward, with all countries showing an increase in the totals of atomic energy produced, right? All the countries showing an increase in the totals of atomic energy produced, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then, when you talk about the key features, so ask yourself which information is the most important one, right? What are the biggest or smallest changes shown in the visual? If you ask these two questions and if you remember these two questions, they will actually tell you, what are the key features in a given diagram or in a given, you can say, chart or whatever kind of visual is presented to you. So let's see again. What are the key features here? Let me give you an example.
Sir,
Yes, yes, please. जी ठीक हो.
increasing atomic energy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Say again what you said?
Increasing atomic energy.
Yes, that was an overall trend. But what are, the key features here that could be highlighted while reporting this visual to someone else? Let me give you a hint. If you see South Africa, China, and UK, they are the least producer of an atomic energy. All of them are into the 0%, right? But if you see Japan and USA specifically, they are, producing the energy more than these countries. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
This is one way to say it, but let's see how it's done. As you can see here, the single biggest expansion occurred in the USA, where production rose from 0.90 to 2.71, right? Now, this is another key highlight, key feature. 0.90 and then 2.71, which is a lot of energy being produced from atomic energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Whereas the least number of atomic energy, uh, in percentage produced is both in South Africa and China, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can see South Africa had the smallest increase in the use of atomic energy, rising slightly from 0% in the 1980 to 0.04 in the 2000. So we
2000.
so we have these two key features. USA is producing the most. Even in the 1980s, it was producing the most. But in 2000, it was, at the top of all other countries, right? Whereas South Africa, among all these countries which are compared, it is at the bottom. It is producing the least. So these are the two key features. One is at the top, another one is at the bottom. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how you describe and, you can say locate the key features in a given visual, and then you can talk about it. Okay. Then another key feature is that all the other three countries, the use of atomic energy as a percentage of total energy production roughly tripled in the UK, Japan, and the former Soviet Union. If you see these countries, 11 to 21, and then 29, then 28 to 0.692, and then 1.58, 29 to 90, and then 95, right? So all these three countries, they are showing another key feature, which is the tripling of the production of the atomic energy, right? UK was producing 0.11% in the 1980s, but now it is producing 0.29 in the 2000,
0.29.
right? So it's almost, it's not exactly, you can use the word, you can see the word roughly, right? Which means
Yes.
that, we are not talking in terms of exact percentage, we're only talking in terms of rough percentage. So we can see that roughly all these three countries, they are showing increase, threefolded increase, right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Now let's move to the next slide. Okay, here is an activity. Let's do this activity regarding the description of key features, right? Now, as you can see here, we have a visual, right? It's rubbish collected on a beach, right? It's about rubbish collected on a beach. So we have different items, type of rubbish. We have cigarettes, food containers, plastic bottles, plastic bags, etc., right? Then we have the number of items collected. So 0 to 14,000, right? Now, here we have a question. Dash object found on the beach were cigarette, which were twice as common as any other type of rubbish, right? So which of the following fits in the gap? One. Now you have to answer it, okay? But it's not working properly. Let me show you here. Yes, here it will work. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you see these options? By far the most
Yes,
common,
sir.
the most striking feature, the single biggest, another substantial. The general trend is overall it can be seen that the most significant change. Now tell me which of these statements, these options actually fit in this blank. Can you tell me? Think about it and then tell me. G. Can we say by far the most common object found on the beach were cigarettes? G. I think I'm asking you.
Sir.
Okay, think about this other option. The most striking feature, objects found on the beach. Does it fit in this blank? It is definitely not fitting it grammatically. Am I right? The most striking feature, objects. If I say the most striking feature and then objects found, it's
Yes,
not,
sir.
it doesn't fit, right? Grammatically, it's inaccurate. Okay. What if I say the single biggest objects found? The single biggest objects. Again, it's not grammatically fitting. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Another substantial objects found. This is another. So another mean one object. Here we have objects, right?
Object. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the general trend is objects found. No, the general trend is also not fitting in this blank. Overall, it can be seen that objects found on the beach were cigarettes. So it is not the only, object which was found on the beach, right? So it's also not fitting. And then, of course, the last one doesn't fit. The most significant change, it doesn't fit. So it means that the first one, by far the most
The
common
most
objects, exactly, this is the right option. Is it clear?
of
So we have clicked this one, okay? Now here we have another visual, right? And again, we have the same kind of statement, a few statements, right? Options. The question is, dash took place in the 2010 to 2011 period when the number of whales sighted grew from a low of 40 to a high of over 100 individual whales, right? Now, the question is, which of the following fits in the gap one, right? So here, by far the most common took place, it doesn't fit. The most striking feature took place, no, it doesn't fit. The single biggest took place, it doesn't fit. Another substantial took place, again, it doesn't fit. The general trend is, no, it doesn't fit, right? Overall, it can be seen that took place, it doesn't fit. The most significant change took place in 2010 to 2011, now it fits. Right?
yes, sir.
And the last one is the greatest number of took place. Again, this doesn't fit. So the most significant change took place in 2010 to 2011 period when the number of whales sighted grew, right? So this was the change,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, I'll share the rest of, the worksheet with you and you can do the work, the rest of the activity at home. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move now to the next slide. Now, another important thing that you should learn about writing task one is the overview. Now, what does overview means? Overview means it's one or two sentences which describes the main trend or trends. It should be at the beginning. After the introductory sentence, we have known what an introductory sentence is. We have done it. We have paraphrased it, right? You already know it. So the overview
Yes,
statement
sir.
should be after the introductory statement, and it can also be stated at the end. But if you mention it in the the introductory paragraph, it will be much better. Now here is an example. Global energy consumption since 1970s by generating method. So we have global energy consumption. The time period is 1970s, right? And it
Yes,
is by generating method. So then we have percentage, right? As you can see here, 50%, 40, 30, it started with 0. Then we have the time period 1970 to 2000. Then we have different types of, energy, petroleum, coal, natural gas, and nuclear, right? So how to write an overview of this, you can say, visual? Let's see it. We have two types of trends here. One is downward and another one is
upward.
upward. Are you getting it? One is
Yes, sir.
downward and another one is upward. Now, here is an overview. Overall, it can be seen that the use of petroleum and coal, these two, fell slightly over the period. Which period? 1970 to 2000. On the other hand, there were slight increases in the use of natural gas and nuclear energy. As we can see, both of them, the nuclear and natural gas, they grew, right? From 1970s to 2000. They are going upward, right? And the other ones, the petroleum and coal, they are coming downwards, right?
downward.
So we have these two types of trends and we have discussed it. And this is what you call overview. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, to add an introductory sentence, let's see it here. The chart shows trends in the world usage of different types of energy between 1970 and the year 2003, right? It's just a general statement. So we have this time period 1970s to 2003. That is the time period. And the chart is talking about, the world usage of these different types of energy, right? Now, overall, it can be seen that the use of petroleum and coal fell slightly over the period. Which period? The period is already mentioned, so you don't need to mention it again because it will become a kind of repetition. When you use the word the, it is the anaphoric reference, which means that you have referred to the period already mentioned, okay? On the other
Yes, sir.
hand, there were slight increases in the use of natural gas and nuclear energy, and we know it, right? We have already done it here. So this is a complete introductory paragraph
Sir,
where you have, mm-hmm, G, G there.
sir, we find the overview from this line.
No, you will write the overview, when you look at the visual. So when you look at it, you read the data, automatically you will learn that what is the trend, what is the trend or what are the trends in the given visual. So as we have mentioned in this previous paragraph, slide, we have two trends. One is going, coming downward, the other one is moving upward. Is it clear? You can see these two
Yes, sir.
trends, right? You've seen them. So when you observe those two trends, you will write them. You will create it in your mind and then write. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then here is another, example. We have this visual and there are three overviews written. Now read all the three overviews and tell me which of the three is the best one. Okay. You have 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes and look at this visual, then read these three types of overviews written by different candidates and tell me which of the three overviews is the best one. Okay, A, B, or C, you have to select one. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, you have 2 minutes, do it. Okay, Atika, now tell me which of these three options is the best one, the best overview.
Sir, option B.
Yes, excellent. If you look at the first option, it talks about all the details, and in the overview, we do not mention the details. We discuss them later, right? Option B talks about the overall trend, right? It says the bar graph outlines the factors responsible for injuries occurring in homes. Falling was the single biggest cause of all household injuries, with low falls responsible for 27%, and high falls making up another 7% of all injuries. And it does not talk about other details. If you look at option C, so it is not well. Why? Because it doesn't talk about, the overall trend. It discusses again different things, right? As you can see, it says the bar graph shows the causes of injuries occurring in the home, right? Injuries in the home can be caused by a number of different things, including burns, falls, poisoning, collisions in animals, but it doesn't talk about the overall trend. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you have picked the right option. Option B is the right option, okay? Now, another important thing that you should keep in your mind is the task achievement, right? Task achievement means that whether you have completed or written at least 150 words. Another important thing which comes in the task achievement is the cohesion and coherence, right? Whether your ideas they are linked to each other or have you talked randomly, right? Third important element that should be in your mind is lexical resource. It talks about whether you have used a range of vocabulary or not, or you have just copied and pasted. As we have seen the examples where there were a few candidates who have actually copy pasted. So copy paste is not allowed. You should write your own words, write your own vocabulary, right? You should tell your examiner that you have the range of vocabulary, you know the language well. Third, you should also use the grammatical range and accuracy, right? You should use different structures, such as simple structures, such as compound sentences, and many other structures, active voice, passive voice. Along with that, you should also be using different type of, tenses if required by the context, right? So you should keep this thing in mind. And again, important thing, it's not only the use of tense and grammatical range, but it is actually the accurate grammatical use and range, right? If you're not using your structures accurately, your grammatical range won't matter at all, right? So this should be in your mind that you should be using grammar correctly, right? It should be correct grammar. It should be correct words, and it should be the sentence should be linked with each other correctly, with correct lexical resource, with correct correct transition words, and so on. So this should be in your mind, right? Then we have a sample task here where you have, again, two tables, right? The title of the table, instructions, right? The statement about the table, right? And then, the instructions related to what you should do. You should be summarizing and selecting, reporting the main features and making comparisons where relevant, right? So this is a sample task. Now, you can read the sample response here. As we've already discussed the introductory paragraph of this, task one, just read this first paragraph aloud and tell me how will you rate it, right? Read it aloud, please. Ji, Atika, could you please read it aloud?
Sir, the first paragraph.
Yes, the first paragraph. And tell me if it is according to the way we have discussed to write our introductory paragraph or not. Just tell me. Read it aloud and then tell me. Ji.
The table gives information about the changes in different types of transport used by commuters over a 10-year period. Overall, the use of wheels such as cars, trucks, and vans decreased noticeably, whereas
Noticeably.
walking and use of bicycle became more popular.
Yes. Now tell me, is it a good introductory paragraph or not? Do we have this
Yes, sir.
introduction of statement, right? If you see here,
Yes, sir.
the table shows changes in transport use over time. So this has been paraphrased as the tables give information about the changes, right? And different types of transport used by commuters over a 10 period, right? A
Yes,
10-year period. So this is the paraphrase, a very good paraphrase of the information statement. Then we have the overall trend. Overall, the use of vehicles such as cars, trucks, and vans decreased noticeably, whereas walking and using bicycles became more popular. So we can see here in 2004, the use of car, truck, and van, it was at 74.6%. In 2014, it came to 65.5%, right? Is it clear? Walk was at 3.9%, but in 2014, it increased to 8%. So we have two basic trends where one trend came down, another trend went up. Walking went up, and the use of car, trucks, and vans, it came down. Is it clear? So this is a very good overall overview of the two tables. Is it clear? Is it clear or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Okay. Further, we have then, the information from 2014, 2004 has been selected, right? Where it says that looking at 2004, car, trucks, and vans were used by 74.6% of people for transport. This easily outranked the train, which was the next most popular mode of transport, right? With 6.7%. And this year, walking and cycling were used by 3.9% and 1.2% of commuters, respectively. And you can see all this data here, right? Then the data in contrast, moving forward to 2014, the use of car, trucks, and vans had declined significantly by 9.1%, right? Because it came from 74.6 to 65.5%, which is 9.1% in total, right? On the other hand, a higher
Yes, sir.
percentage of people use bicycles, 6.5% in 2014, right? Demonstrating a 5.3% raise, right? So this is how you select and report the information. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? You can see here is selecting and reporting. The data from the tables have
Yes,
been
sir.
taken and reported here in this for the year 2004 as well as for the year 2014.
It's clear.
Yes. Then we have cohesion and coherence, right? This easily outranked what? Outranked 74.6%, outranked 6.7%. On the other hand, additionally, so these are actually the cohesive devices which actually link one sentence or one paragraph with another one, right? So they are properly used. Lexical range, vehicles, and then mode of transport on foot, other forms of transport. So the same idea has been used with different, wording. So lexical range has also been shown to the examiner. Then the grammatical range, we have the use of, complex sentences. We have the use of, you can say relevant clauses, which was the next most popular mode of transport. Similarly, while traveling on foot had increased, we have also used the word, different tenses, right? Then who did not, right? So again, a relative pronoun and so on. So the grammatical range has also been shown, in this response by the candidate. So that's all about it. If you have any questions, you can ask. G, is there any question? Or everything is clear? G, dear, is it clear or not? Atika, I'm talking to you. Am I audible? Hello? Okay, I think you have lost your connection, so that's all about it. Thank you. Hello? Am I audible?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, is there any question?
No, sir.
All right. So that's all about it for today. I will see you inshallah tomorrow with some more, practice and information about task 1, and then we'll also switch to task 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See you then inshallah. Have a good day. Allah Hafiz.